which as you can see, this is just as quick as the new one because the new one has the same transmission, same engine. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're gonna be going over a 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee WK. This is a 2022, but it's with the old body style. This one's finished in the Laredo X package. And yeah, anyways, before we get into the review, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Jeep Chrysler here in Provo, Utah for giving me some time with this Grand Cherokee. Check out the inventory in the description down below. And on a side note, I just released my car buying course, so if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to that in the description down below. It's very affordable. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 293 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end. Like I said, this is a Laredo X, so it's kind of like the sporty looking version of the Laredo. First off, love the paint color on this particular one. I think it looks fantastic. You guys can see you've got the accent lights around the projector bulbs, fog lights just down below, and then notice how the grille is mostly blacked out, part of the Laredo X package, and also the Jeep logo. And then notice this trim down here is all blacked out as well. And then obviously around the fog light housing. And other than that, there is the front end. Coming around the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then notice the wheels themselves are all blacked out, which I think look fantastic. Again, goes with that Laredo X theme. And then you can see the front suspension. Notice we got the body painted fender flares, which look really nice. Grand Cherokee there on the side. And notice we've got the old school Jeep logo next to it, and it says WK because again, this is the old body style. And if we take a few steps back, notice the trim around the windows is all blacked out, and there's your full side view. So here is the key fob. You got the Jeep logo on the back. We have our unlock, lock, remote start, and then the opening here for the hatch, which pops open at a pretty quick pace. You guys can see that's the button to close the hatch. And then underneath here, you can see the spare tire. Got a 12-volt there on the other side, and overall storage space back here is fantastic. And when you're all done, like I said, buttons on the side, so let's press that and it'll close her up. Seems like it closes slower than it opens. It's kind of like a Grand Cherokee Durango thing. Now let's finish things up here with the rear. You've got the blacked out Jeep badge 4x4, and then you guys can see here with the taillights, the design on that. Parking sensors here along the bottom. And then you can see here at the very bottom, got the exhaust tip off to the side. And yeah, there you go. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You guys can see the trim piece here darkened to go with the package. And then down below you've got the really nice padding. And then here are the seats. You've got a mix between the leather, and then notice you've got the suede center here, and also the adjustments on the side. Let's pop in so you guys can see the legroom. And then headroom as well. Notice we've got a couple vents here, and then got the full outlet down below that. And then this pulls down to be an armrest. A couple cup holders as well. And let's head to the front. Here's the door panel at the front. You guys can see, again, the trim piece up above, and then the padding down below. All of our window controls, the mirror adjustments. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then here is the front seat. So again, you can see the padding and the insert here in the center. All of your power adjustments there. Pedal layout just down below. We've got the gas cap release, light control just up above. Again, more of that trim. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. There's where I'm looking for it. Pop in. So here is the steering wheel. You've got the leather trim all around, and then the darker stitching here on the center portion. Cruise control on this side, controls for the center stack, voice command, phone controls. Radio controls are on the back side of the steering wheel. We have our turn signal, windshield wiper stock, and that's all. Now here is the center gauge cluster. You got the RPMs on the left side, and the right side you've got the temperature and the fuel, and then you guys can see here with the center stack, a bunch of different menus that you can scroll through to see different bits of information on the vehicle, all that fun stuff. And we do have some different drive modes. We've got an eco mode. We can turn that off if we want. And then we have a sport mode, which will pop up here in the center with the checkered flag and all that fun stuff. Here's the center infotainment system. If we pop into reverse, we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel. And you guys can see response time on the screen is actually really good. When you actually press it, we have heated seats, heated steering wheel. You notice you can go to the backup camera. Navigation as well, which is really nice. And so overall, really easy to use infotainment system. Analog controls for the radio, climate controls as well. This has a dual zone climate. Parking sensors, we've got this for the lane departure, auto stop start. So the drive mode select's kind of interesting, and also stability controls right next to it. So sport mode on, pretty straightforward. Right now it's in eco mode, and then eco mode off, it's in normal mode. So you've got like 3 different drive modes that you can go between. And then notice we've got our little charging area with a bunch of USBs and 12 volt. And then you guys can see the cup holders right here, shifter for the 8-speed automatic. And then we have our drive mode select here in this area for the other drive mode. So we have our sand, snow mode on the one side, and then mud and rock. And it does show it here in the center, so you guys can see the different drive modes with that. We do have hill descent control, we do have 4-wheel low. And then you can see the center console, we have 12 volt inside of it. Nice padding here on the top. Then also the trim there connects on the door panel. You can see the whole glove box set up. And then we have a sunglass holder here at the top. Now here is the window sticker, and again, it is in fact a 2022 WK. Here is the optional equipment. I don't know if the camera's gonna show it. We're just getting a reflection. Let me see if I pull the door back, because usually sometimes that helps. There you go. Sting Gray, love this color. And you guys can see the rest of the equipment. Anyways, total MSRP $48,550. Let's take it out, see how it drives. Well, let's go over visibility before you set off. There's visibility over the hood. Both mirrors have blind spot monitoring. And throughout the rest of the rear. And let go. So we are going for a short little test drive here in the WK. I have done plenty of test drive reviews with this generation of Grand Cherokee. But anyways, let's talk about this and talk about why you should buy this over a new body style Grand Cherokee. First off, it has a more analog feel. The new body style, right, has softened everything up from a suspension standpoint to a steering standpoint and all that, and that sounds great. But if you want to feel like you're more in touch with the vehicle, this kind of gives you that. The steering feels just a little bit heftier, right? Kind of has just a sportier feel in general. And then also with the suspension, it kind of has a sportier feel. This feels like tighter, basically. Again, it feels more on the sporty side, whereas the brand new one doesn't quite give that to you. But the ride quality is still very smooth. Seats are still really comfortable. And also, this obviously has a little bit less tech than the new one, and so that's less stuff for you to worry about, right, down the road. Not saying the tech on the new stuff is unreliable, but, right, you got more moving parts, more stuff to potentially break down the road. So you always have that. And then we have the acceleration, which as you can see, this is just as quick as the new one, because the new one has the same transmission, same engine. So you don't gain anything from an acceleration perspective with the brand new body style. And so here's what I have to say. Especially in today's market, right, we've got pretty crazy pricing on a lot of different vehicles. The new one, you know, although it might technically be about the same from an MSRP perspective, this is still a little bit less in terms of the MSRP. But then on top of that, right, dealers are going to be marking up the new body style way more than they're going to be marking up this. Or this probably actually, I imagine, has some level of discount since it's the old body style. So a little bit more affordable. Still getting a full warranty, still getting a brand new vehicle. And so if you basically just want a Grand Cherokee, you want the Grand Cherokee practicality, but you don't want to pay the price premium you're going to have to pay with the new body style, and you also want to be able to actually get one, that's where this comes in. Production on the new body style is still going kind of slow, so they're hard to get a hold of, and that's why the pricing's so crazy. Whereas with these, they're a little bit easier to get a hold of. And so there you go. There's the Laredo X in the WK series. Now let's get some things up for our video on this Jeep Grand Cherokee. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Laird Schmiller Jeep Chrysler here in Provo for giving me some time with the Grand Cherokee. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.